What's a good spin rate?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. A great side effect to being longer because everybody's gonna hit miss hits. But the good thing about hitting it longer is when you miss hit it and you hit it short, you're in the trees. And when you miss hit it and you hit it long, you're on the parallel fairway. Makes it a lot easier. Boys and girls, I finally made it out of here to Dallas, but my luggage has not. So I'm wearing stuff I kind of stole from Hogan, but that's okay. Still wearing my boots, but for the weather here in Dallas, that's actually spot on. So we're here at Topgolf, and well, it might be not the perfect audience for your typical free tips for more distance video, but well, these guys out of here want to smash it far too, so let's see what we can do. Look, Hogan's actually hitting his actual driver here.
Yeah, I am.
Like not the Topgolf driver, but the actual driver.
No,
that's cheating.
For long hitting,
Yeah.
is that ideal tee height?
Yeah.
That is?
That's perfect. You want to go as low as you can, right?
Yeah.
And hit as much down on the ball as you can.
And off the bottom of the face.
And off the bottom of the face. That's all perfect for long drives. So let's see if we actually find someone out here that looks like a half-decent golfer. Oh, that guy over there. That guy's wearing a white belt, so he must be a golfer. In terms of spin rate, what kind of spin rate are you looking for when you hit drivers?
2200.
22? Okay, spot on. That's a good answer. There we go. So when you hit drivers and you want to hit it really far,
Right.
so what kind of spin rate are you looking for?
I have no idea.
You have no idea? Like a rough estimate. What would you guess? Like,
spin rate?
What's a good spin rate?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, then watch my YouTube video.
Okay, okay.
Thanks, dude. So what kind of numbers are we looking for? So the first, most important number is obviously speed. And to maximize ball speed, we need a maximized club speed. So that's the very basis to gain more distance. Then we want to convert this speed to optimize the ball flight and hit it as far as possible, because when you launch it terrible, that speed is just going to get up in the air and not going to move forward, right? So what we want to do is we want to launch it somewhere between 12 and 16 degrees a launch angle and spin it somewhere around 1800 to 2500, which is a huge gap, but depending on conditions, this can vary a lot. So into wind, you usually want to spin it less. Downwind, you usually want to spin it a bit more to keep it up in the air and let the wind push it. So how do we do that? Number one, know your numbers. And number two, know how to manipulate the numbers. So to amp up the first parameter, which is speed, you can obviously do speed training, but is speed training only good for long drive or to hit it far? Speed training actually does one thing that most people overlook, and that is build up a speed reserve. So the faster your maximum speed is, the more you build up that speed reserve to be fast on course too without even realizing it. So let's say you max out at 180 miles an hour ball speed with your driver, you can just smooth it out there on course at 170 without even realizing you're going hard at it. So that's one of the perks of speed training. Then how do we manipulate launch? Most people launch it too low. So what's happening is most people come over the top and just slice the heck out of the golf. So they're coming down at the ball and boom, slice it, launch it low with a lot of spin. So that's the first mistake people do. So my very first tip for you guys is actually when you address the ball, you tilt your shoulders a little bit more to the right. So that already puts you in a position to hit more up on the ball. And then what I like to do is work with feelings. So one of those feelings would be when I'm working with tennis players, for example, I tell them like, dude, just hit a forehand topspin like this, because then they naturally get into that motion of having the low point before the ball and then move up at the ball, because that's how you play a topspin. You go like boom, like this. And then let them simply transfer that feel to the golf ball by tilting their shoulders and try to like hit a tennis topspin. Very, very nice feel that a lot of tennis players actually use to get the ball up in the air with less spin. So that's the first thing, how you get that ball up in the air. Then you want to reduce spin. One easy method of doing this would be simply use less static loft. So the loft you see on your golf club is your static loft. That does not mean that's the loft you deliver at impact, but going down on static loft also helps to move down that dynamic loft as well. But this loft at impact has a lot to do with your hand position at impact. So in theory, what you could do is you could attack a ball like this, but you could also attack a ball like this. This is obviously exaggerated, but that means that dynamic loft at impact is completely independent of the angle of attack. So you can have your hands forward at impact and still hit a lot up on the ball. So how do we try to change this? So we already tilted our shoulders more, right? We have that tennis topspin in mind. And then what I love to do is to prime this motion with a back. So we get a back. I probably cannot hit this back, can I? So there's all the cameras in there, all the camera stuff from Hudson, so I'm very sorry, I won't hit it as hard. I really love this drill to actually move the dynamic loft at impact down a lot. So when you hit an object like this, boom, and you're basically forced to stop at impact and hit it hard, and you try to keep your hands forward and give the club zero loft, that's an exaggerated version of working on the feel you want to create at impact when you hit the golf ball. So you're basically like this, tilt your shoulders, think tennis topspin, and then boom, keep those hands forward in front of the ball, but still have the feel of hitting up on the ball. So that's a combination that works really well. And when you do that, when you hit that back over and over again, and then switch to a golf ball, it kind of works its magic.
Kind of works its magic.
One more tip, when you practice this, so this tee right here is way too low to actually practice this. So when you create crazy high angle of attacks, most of the time you need a way higher tee, or you'll hit the lower part of the face a lot, and that creates a lot more spin. So actually when you practice this, I would recommend you to get a long tee, stick it in the ground so you feel comfortable. Where's that from? Oh, that's money. Okay. In German we would say this is a little Polish, but we still do it. So we build ourselves a little tee right here. Shoulders tilt, think tennis topspin, move ball left, and go. That's an interesting ball flight. So as I said before, when you practice this, get a high tee so you can create crazy high angle of attacks. Move those hands forward, hit it back before, then address the ball, tilt your shoulders, think tennis topspin, and then launch it up there. So that was number one, know your numbers. Number two, know how to manipulate them. The most important bit, or the very basis of all of this, is actually number three, and that is dare to make a change. Because I've seen people that touched their first or second speed session, seen ball flights they've never seen before, or even missed the ball and freaked out. We've seen that on tour, when tour players saw their first couple ball flights in such a speed session and actually saw their bank accounts fade away in front of their eyes, right? And they basically stopped. PGA Tour players know that prize money correlates with driving distance, and they try everything to make a change, but not a lot of guys actually push through it. Bryson was one of the first guys that actually showcased that what we do as long drivers makes sense for golf in, let's call it a lighter way. So it's not as extreme, and all the moves we do in long drive are not really usable on course, but the technique itself, so the speed sessions we do, as barbaric as they might look like, these make sense to actually push your maximum speed, to push up your speed reserve, and actually also be longer eventually on course. But you guys out there, you're not PGA Tour pros, probably. For you guys still daring to make a change, know your numbers, know how to manipulate them, and probably get rid of your slice out there is the way to go. And by tilting your shoulders, thinking tennis topspin, and hit an actual impact back, before you actually hit a golf ball, to prime yourself to know and feel how to make contact might be a first step for you to actually make a change. Please comment down below if you've tried this and if you succeeded, or what your questions are for the average golfer out there, because I'm not a PGA Tour pro, I'm not a PGA teacher or a PGA golf coach. I'm just a long drive guy who's a nerd in all these topics and kind of knows how to push people to reach higher speeds on all different levels, in all different ages. I had 82-year-old guys out there at my golf cave in Munich that actually made a change. So comment down below what you want to see and what kind of problems you have in your golf swing or in your, let's call it your speed journey. I might have a solution for it, or I might touch it in another video. Also, a great side effect to being longer, because everybody's gonna hit miss hits. Everybody. Not only the long guys out there, also the short guys out there will have miss hits. But the good thing about hitting it longer is, when you miss hit it and you hit it short, you're in the trees. And when you miss hit it and you hit it long, you're on the parallel fairway. Makes it a lot easier. All right, guys, I'm gonna crush a couple more drivers for you, and I want you to crush the like button and the subscribe button. I'm really trying to bring out the best content for you guys, and it really motivates me to do more for you. When you like it, subscribe it, turn on the bell, and leave a comment down below. Thank you so much.